our economy has actually grown significantly since 1980, but our wages, the average American wages, have completely stagnated, as Robert Reich is going to show you. He's former labor secretary for President Clinton. He's now a professor at UC Berkeley. And did you know that, but just one little fact before I go to the video. Did you know that in 1988 versus 2008, the average American worker actually lost $400 with today's money? So if you adjust for inflation, we make $400 less in 2008 than we did in 1988. 20 years and we lost ground. Okay. Now, how could our economy double and we lose ground? Well, Robert Reich is going to explain it in about 2 minutes. Let's watch.
What's the problem with the economy? Let me connect the dots and show you the big picture in less than 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Dot 1. Since 1980, the American economy has doubled in size. But adjusting for inflation, most people's wages have barely increased. Second dot. Where did all that money go? Almost all the gains have gone to the super rich. The top 1% used to take home about 10% of total income. Now it takes home more than 20%. And the super rich have 40% of the nation's entire wealth. The third dot. All this money at the top has given the super rich lots of political power, especially power to lower their tax rates. Before 1980, the top tax rate was over 70%. Now it's down to 35%. And much of their income is capital gains, subject to only a 15% tax. According to the IRS, the richest 400 Americans pay only 17%. Fourth dot. This means huge budget deficits. Tax revenues are down to less than 15% of the total economy, the lowest in 60 years. So public services are being cut at all levels of government. Our kids are being crowded into classrooms with more and more other children. Roads, bridges, levees, healthcare, safety nets, they're all being sacrificed. The fifth dot. Instead of joining together for better wages and jobs, many people are so scared that they're competing with other working people for the scraps that are left behind. So we get union versus non-union, public employee versus private, native-born versus immigrants. Final dot. The vast middle class, unable to borrow as it could before, no longer has the purchasing power needed to get the economy growing again, which means continued high unemployment and an anemic recovery. So you see the big picture? The only way we can have a strong economy is with a strong middle class.
That is only 100% correct. And I will add some things to it. You know, our tax rates go down. Well, actually, the tax rates for the rich go down, as he pointed out, so we have less money. But it's not just that. It gets redistributed, the taxes do. Since 1950, the share of corporate taxes that are paid has gone down dramatically as a share of the federal revenue. Payroll taxes have gone up dramatically as a share of the federal revenue. What does that mean? That means that the costs are being redistributed from corporate America to us. Why is that happening? It's because corporations are very, very rich and they could buy politicians who pass laws that get them lower tax rates, bigger advantages, bigger monopolies, bigger government contracts. They literally take our money and they funnel it through those government contracts to those connected companies. And then they circulate that money back into the politicians and buy them more. What does it do? As Robert Reich showed you there, it creates huge deficits. And then one more dot. Once they have those deficits, they say, well, what can we do? We had to cut spending on the middle class again. And then we have even less of a middle class. And what does that do? It creates a death spiral for the economy because nobody can buy anything. And so in the end, the rich don't wind up benefiting either. They do in the short run, no question about that, to the tune of millions and sometimes billions of dollars. But in the long run, we become a third world country. And right now, we are, in terms of income inequality, right between Cameroon and Jamaica. That is a disastrous place we find ourselves. That is not how you build a healthy economy.